So, hello everyone. I see that there are some wonderful students already here. My name is Nadia Komishina. Today we're going to have seminar. Thank you very much for your eager questions and greetings. That is very sweet. The usual procedure. I'm asking the questions about technical support, because for us to have an effective and successful webinar, you should hear me well and you should see me well. At least you should see the presentation. So thank you very much, Tatiana Anatolievna. So I understand that you are listening and hearing well. Thank you. So the procedure is simple. If you hear and see me well, everything is good with the screen. So put a plus, please, for us to see that you are with us, and we can go on. It is some kind of a checking of technical thing. Yes, thank you very much for your smiles and pluses. That is perfect. Okay, so whenever you have any technical problem or you don't understand something, please use our chat, ask the questions. I hope I will answer all of them, and we will help you with every problem that can happen, but we don't live in a perfect world, so everything can happen. So if some question is missed or some problem is missed, so try to remind us about it, or we will deal with it sometime later, because we have plenty of opportunity to meet again. And every hour meeting like that is limited in time. That's why we will try to cope with the information that is presented on the screen. Today we are going to speak about how to teach in the 4th grade in the next year, right? School year. This topic, I hope, is quite important for those who registered and took participation in this webinar. And there are some little details that we should know, we should be ready for, and it will help us to be more successful in the next year, school year, right? So let's start with the first one. You see that my presentation today is like a spring, very green, and it is not, it has got a reason. The reason is that today we will speak about gardening and farming. Okay, so the first question is, you have read it already and you're already thinking about the answer. So what does a teacher have in common with a farmer? So I hope that it is not difficult for you to type a very short answer, like 1 or 2 words, in any language you prefer. It can be English, it can be Ukrainian, it can be Russian. 3 of those languages I understood. So, so thank you, Tatiana Anatolievna. We plant seeds. Interesting. Of course, metaphorically speaking. So if you have other answers, please share. We are still waiting for interesting ideas. The first one is very interesting. We plant seeds, but I think that a teacher doesn't plant the seed like a farmer, but the process is somehow the same, right? So we put something and we wait it grow something. So, dear participants, do you have any other answers? Do we do something else that we do together? Farmer and a teacher. Because the first idea is very good. Of course, we plant seeds of knowledge or something. Do you have any others? Looking at my perfect and green presentation. So Tatiana Anatolievna is the most active person, and it took all the ideas from the other participants. My answer is very close. I think that we both grow seeds. Yeah, so plant seeds, it is important, but also it is important to help them grow. And I think that one more, Excellent, thank you, Victoria. Of course, we have the results, right? So a farmer and a teacher, we have some results of our efforts. Наша робота дає плоди. Very nice answer. And my answer, as I said already, we both grow seeds. So, and most importantly, to remember that we watch them grow, right? As a farmer will never come to a tree and help it grow, so because it doesn't work like that. It cannot push it with his hands to make it bigger or better, or to have more apples or something like that. So the farmer's task is to let it grow, to watch it grow, and help with some other things that will help it grow. But all the growing is done by a plant, right? In our case, by a teacher. We should remember that we watch them grow, we help them, we create atmosphere, we give them materials, we give them information or questions, and the only thing that we can watch them grow, help them with that. Okay, so now, as we understood that gardening and teaching have something very important in common, every farmer is planning his or her work, right? And I suggest you to plan it as well altogether. So, to plan our teaching, if we are talking about teaching the 4th graders in the next year, I think that we should know what to teach, how much time we have, and how to check the results. So that is the plan. Of course, we can add some more little details, but I think that these 3 are the most important. Read them carefully again, and can you please type your personal opinion? Which of these 3 is the most, let it be the easiest for you? So which of these 3 items of our plan is the easiest for you to decide? Like I say, and you know already the answer. Let it be what to teach, it will be number 1. How much time we have, it will be number 2, and how to check the results, it will be 3. How to teach, it is the easiest. What to teach, right? It is the easiest. Okay, interesting. Any other ideas? Number 1, what to teach is the easiest. Okay, I can see another one. Number 2, how much time? So maybe not the content, but most of you think that the content is the easiest thing for you. So it means that you are very well informed about what to teach. Interesting experience for me. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed it. And some people answered 2. Now I can see the answer 3, how to check the results, right? I would agree with that as well. Usually we use tests to check the results, right? So some kind of test, it is not easy to find, not difficult to find, and doesn't take a lot of time. Yeah, the results may be not very satisfying, but the way to check them is not very difficult. Okay, so I would say that for me, number 2 is the easiest, because all the time that we have to spend with our students in the 4th grade is given for us, right? It is absolutely limited. We know how much time we have, and so on. But let's start with the first one. What actually we should teach? And remember, please, that today we're speaking about the 4th grade that will start learning English in the next year, because from the next school year they will start the new curriculum, right? So the new curriculum will be active, let it be this way. So when you decide as a teacher what to teach, so you have your aims and the content of learning. What do you use? A course book, a calendar plan, or national curriculum? What do you use? 1, 2, or 3? It's like from your personal experience. Next year you will start teaching in the 4th grade. What do you use to understand what items of language I should teach? Oh, everything. No. Please choose one. It is always very sly answer, right? So yes and no. Okay, you can see 3. Most of the answers are 3. So please choose one, because of course you can check everything, but the most important resource of information is, of course, national curriculum. Thank you very much. You know that a course book, a calendar plan, they are made by some people, and they can include whatever information they personally think is important. And if in the course book you see some information that is not mentioned in the national curriculum, you have all legal and moral rights to skip it, because your first task is to complete the national curriculum. Whatever is written there, thank you, most of you have chosen number 3, national curriculum. That is the only document all over Ukraine that is true in every village, in every city, in every region, and all of us teachers should follow and cover this national curriculum. Of course, we will do it in different ways, by using different course books or additional materials or techniques, video, not video, so it depends, right? Every time when you do in the classroom, it's up to you. But the main content of the teaching, something that should be taught and something that should be learned, is described in national curriculum, and we should know it, okay? So that's why the next slide, of course, will be the answer, right? The answer is national curriculum, the most important. Then you look, you check the calendar plan to some course book, you check the course book, and again, you should be absolutely flexible about the course book, because if there is something that is extra that is not mentioned in national curriculum, you can skip it or leave it for later, or give it as additional material with understanding that the time is limited and you have to cover all the curriculum. That is your first task and the most important. So that is national curriculum. I'm not going to ask you to read it. I hope you saw it. I hope you have an electronic or paper version of it. It is very easy to find it on our Ministry of Education site. So you shouldn't even buy it. You can download it and print only your pages. The curriculum for the 4th grade you can find only on 4 pages. So it is something that should be read, only 4 pages. And you see that it is very brief, very small, but we're not going to read it now because it's too small and boring, right? But I'd like you to see it, okay? That's it. That is so, on the first slide you can see 2 pages, and on the other side you can see the other 2 pages. So what is important to remember, the first 2 pages tell us what grammar should be taught, what vocabulary, what structures, what language functions your students should be familiar with. And the other 2 pages will give you some practical amount of something. For example, if we develop speaking, our students at the end of the 4th grade should be able to make a monologue of 6 or 7 sentences. So what you should pay attention to, that our national curriculum never gives you amount of words that should be taught. So it means that the amount of words is a choice of the author of the course book. So or your own choice. Okay, so it is not said that your students should know 60 words or 100 words or every word in some kind of course book or something like that. No. In the national curriculum, it is written what functions of language they should be familiar with and what functions of the language should be developed. And it is very important, because memorizing words, it is not a function of the language. It is just memorizing the words. Yes, it helps us to develop other skills, but it is not the final stage, right? So if your students learn 60 words, I don't know, about animals or irregular verbs, don't be happy, because it is just the beginning. They should use it, they should be able to make questions, to use it appropriately, to understand it in reading, writing and listening, and so on and so forth. And it is written in the curriculum. So please remember, there are no limits how many words. If you think that you can present the topic animals with help of 5 names of animals, so please do it. If you think that 20 is important, so please do it. So it is up to you. There are no limits, but there are very important skills, functions of language that should be developed. And the limits you can see on this slide. So there are some limits in reading, writing and speaking, right? So how much they should read and understand, not read aloud, but understand. So I really recommend you to read it because, I don't know, when I read it for the first time, I felt very confident. The program is very friendly, very up-to-date and very communicative. So if my students can do this, I would be very happy teacher. So, and it is possible to do if you plan your time correctly. As a farmer, you remember that we are gardening today. Here I made some kind of conclusion, the most important things from the curriculum. I made a list because usually when we plan our teaching, usually we pay attention to grammar and vocabulary that our teaching is based on. You know that we have 4 main skills. It's interesting. Do you know that we have 4 main skills? Can you type the first maybe letters or the names of these 4 main skills? What are the 4 main skills that we have to develop? Do you know them? Because it is very important. Thank you. Yes, Oksana Victora is the first one and absolutely right. So R, reading, W, writing, S, speaking, L, listening. So we have only these 4 main skills that should be developed integratedly. So we should plan our lesson in such a way that every skill has got some attention and our students are practicing them every day. So why do I have here only grammar and vocabulary? Because this is basis. Like it is basics that will help your students to develop writing, reading, speaking, and listening. Every time when your students are listening, they should recognize grammar and they should recognize vocabulary. Only with help of these 2 sub-skills they can understand listening. When they read, the same happens. When they have to write, they need some grammar tools and they need vocabulary to put into the structures. So the same. So that's why usually when you look at the curriculum, you make a list of the most important grammar and vocabulary items that should be taught the next year. You understand that it is your plan for the next year. So now, if you have a piece of paper in front of yourself and a pen, can I ask you to look at these 2 lists, right? You can see grammar items and vocabulary items. And can you write, don't write it in chat because it will take some time, just for yourself, write those grammar and vocabulary items that you think will be for the first time for your students in the 4th grade. So what is new if we compare the curriculum of the 3rd grade and the 4th grade? Which items are new for the 4th one? Which were not before? Like what items are going to be new? I hope that I was clear in my instruction. So it will take a lot of time to write it in chat. That's why please on your piece of paper. Okay, so like write what is new, right? Because okay, present perfect. Yes, Tatiana Anatolievna is first to go. Yes, okay, yes, I agree. Present perfect is something new in the 4th grade. So, but again, I will just wait for a little bit more. You shouldn't write your answers. Just make a list according to your feeling. Okay, maybe you don't know, but you think that, okay, this topic should be started in the 4th grade and this and that and this. Okay, so I hope you have your idea. And now on the next slide, you will see the same 2 lists, but the new grammar and vocabulary items, I made them bigger, so they will be, you will notice them. So if you see the big topic, it means that this topic is going to be new for your students. It was not mentioned in curriculum before. So you can see them. In grammar, we have go into structure, degrees of comparison, question words, surprisingly, and present perfect. Okay, hello Irina Alexandrovna, and we go to the new items. In vocabulary, we have the new topic shopping, place of living, and transport. It is something that differs from the 3rd grade. When I say that I have very positive attitude to our national curriculum, I am absolutely sincere. And this is the answer why. Because most of the topics are familiar. We did already something in them, and it is very wise. Because English is not about the amount of words that you know by heart, but English is all about how you can use them here and now in written or oral form. And that's why when we have the same topics from the 2nd grade, the 3rd grade to the 4th grade, and again they will go to the 5th grade, it gives me, a teacher, very good perspective that, okay, so we have started it in the 3rd grade, but we will go on in the 4th grade, and we will still have some more time in the 6th and so on grades. So these topics should not finish on some kind of period of time, because English needs every time practice. So we need a lot of practice, and we need a lot of exercises to get well, to know well, to use well something. So that's why we have only 4 topics in grammar that are new. But I would say that only 3 are new, because question words, I'm sure your students are familiar with them, right? So even in the 1st grade, when you have only 35 minutes a week, you ask the question, what can you see, right? Where is the pen, or something like that. So that's why this topic, when you see something like that, like, oh, but my students are, like, we did it before already, oh, yes. So it means that the curriculum is going to be even easier for your students than it could be. So, and the same with vocabulary. But again, topics with vocabulary is tricky. It seems to me that vocabulary is endless. You can take one topic and learn it, I don't know, the whole year, right? Because there are so many words, so many details, so many, because I know myself, every time when I meet or want to describe something that I have never described before, I understand that, oh, I don't know some words, how to call this little thing and how to call this little thing. So that's why vocabulary is endless. But my idea of vocabulary, it is not something that we should have in a big, big bag behind our head. Right? It is something that we should use every day. That's why I prefer my students to know 5 animals or 7 animals, but they're very, very different, like and wild animal, domestic animal, small, big, dangerous, friendly, and so on. They should be very, very different. But with help of these 7 words, 7 animals, they can develop present continuous, for example, because they describe what these animals are doing at this time, or they practice degrees of comparison, because all these 7 animals are very, very different. You can compare them a lot of time, and you can find lots of variants to compare them. They don't need to practice this grammar that you can see in the first column. They don't need to know plenty of words. They need some basic words, up to 12 on one topic, and then you should organize lots of activities for them to practice them. So that is the answer to the question, what should we teach? We should teach according to national curriculum, and this is the list that should be taught, and even the new topics are marked for us to remember that this is something they are not familiar with. The next option, the next step was how long, how much time do I have to teach, right? So I understood what amount of knowledge I should help my students to get. So what these numbers stand for? So you can see 3 numbers, 65, 2, and 45. What do these numbers stand for? Can you write, please? What is 65 if we are talking about teaching in the 4th grade? What is 45? What is 2? So it means that you as a teacher, you have this. 65 lessons, 2 semesters, 45 minutes. Thank you, Tatiana Anatolievna. I think that it is the first time when you get the right in the first answer. Thank you very much. Absolutely right. So during the year from September till May, we have 65 lessons. We have 2 semesters, or there is one more meaning for the number 2. Can you guess which one? There can be 2 semesters, or what else can it be? 2? What can it mean? Another meaning. And of course it is 45-minute lesson, right? We have lessons that are 45-minute long. Thank you, Victoria. 2 lessons a week. Yes, absolutely. So this is the time that we are limited by. We cannot have more. Pay attention to the first number, 65. In some documents we can read that if you have 2 lessons a week, so it means that you have 70 lessons. I counted it many times with calendars from different years, and I understood that 65, that is maximum lessons that you can have from September to May, with the condition that there are no holidays, like school holidays. I'm not talking about day offs. But you know, sometimes if we have the 8th of March, some lessons can be short, or we can skip some lessons because we have extracurricular activity in the school and it is important to participate. Or you're never ill. That is a dream. Of course, nobody wants to be ill, but we are people and everything can happen. So that's why if I'm a teacher in the 4th grade, I would plan my work for 62 lessons. 62 lessons, that is safe number of lessons that I will have. If I have 3 more, I'm that lucky. So I think that I'm just lucky and I have 3 more additional lessons. Yes, I would agree with Lyubov Petrivna that in some schools the lessons are a little bit short. So they don't have 45-minute lesson, but they have 40-minute lesson. So it is just the situation that you have to adjust to. So you don't have these 5 minutes, so you have to work more energetic, right? So this is the time that we have. And during this time, our actions are simple. We present, we practice, and produce. So that's we do. I'd like to ask you a question. Out of these 3, you can see 3 words like P, right? P present, P practice, P produce. You can see these 3 words. What we don't do as teachers? Like, of course, in the classroom, everything should happen. There should be presentation, there should be practice, and there should be production. Which of these 3 teacher doesn't do? What do you think? I hope you know. Practice. But you organize the practice, right? You give them activities and you check and you take part in the practice, I think. Number 3, thank you, Oksana Volodymyrovna. So, of course, producing, it is something that our students do. You remember, as a farmer, we help to grow, but we cannot make them grow, right? So we cannot make it faster or quicker or something. That's why the first 2, teacher presents information, teacher helps them practice it, find the way how to use it correctly. But the result, producing, right, production, will happen only if the first 2 steps are successful enough. So, and that is the challenge. Thank you very much for your answers. I see lots of correct answers. Thank you for being active, and you're absolutely right. Producing, it is something that our students do. And you as a teacher, if you see that your students are using new vocabulary or they're using grammar correctly, they're producing it, right? So it is the good result of your good practice and effective presentation. So you should be proud of yourself. If you see that production is still poor, they make lots of mistakes or avoid new words, or you don't remember them or use them not in the right way, so it means that you should go back and present it again, explain it again, and get some more, maybe practice in another way, because the practice that you did before was not very effective. So it is something to reflect on, to think, to plan, and to be flexible about. You know that all students are very different, and one way of practice will work in one group, and the same way of practicing will not work in another group. So that's why we should be this flexible and creative. Right. Okay, so, but if we are talking about gardening as teaching, if we compare these two things, I believe that farmer does more. Of course, when we present information, I would say metaphorically that we plant seeds, right? We give something new to our students. When the farmer waters the plant and takes care of the tree, in the classroom we practice it. When the farmer gets new strawberries or apples, it is the same as in the classroom. Our students are using new words and new grammar structures in their activities, right? In their speaking or writing tasks. And we feel as happy as a farmer, right? These beautiful strawberries. But I believe that farmer does more. That's why I suggested you compare. No, I don't think that something is not working because I'm not changing the... Okay, the most important thing that you should hear me and see the presentation. Okay, so what does farmer do? What is more? Right now I will explain you how to grow, right? If we are keeping in mind that we are learning from a farmer. When farmer comes to the place in spring, right, when he wants or she wants to plant some seeds, of course he or she first explores the territory, checks it, digs it up, prepare it for the seed, right? Because I think it would be a crazy idea for a farmer to come to some field and just spread the seed. I think it's crazy, right? So you will look at him and go, okay, what are you doing? Because the farmer should prepare the soil, the ground. And it is something that sometimes in school we miss. We think that we have no more time. We have only 40 minutes lesson. So like I have no time for this, I don't know, old experience. But this part, surprisingly enough, can be the most important. Every time when you work with your students, your little step to ask them what they know about something, the process of brushing up some old knowledge can be the key to success. So that's why I called it old experience. Every child, every student has got old experience, some knowledge. They know something about English, they know something about present simple, they know something about degrees of comparison, they know something. When you, with help of reflection, it is the way of brushing up the knowledge, with help of looking back, right? So you look back at your knowledge and they remember, oh yes, I know this, I remember this word, I have seen this thing. So you are like a farmer, you prepare the soil to accept the new seed. Okay, I hope that you understand. So we have to brush it up a little bit. Before presenting something new, we should appreciate students' knowledge that they have for this moment. And it doesn't matter how old your student is, they always have some knowledge. And if you appreciate it by saying, oh, really, you know this? Oh, perfect, very nice, some support, some, I don't know, praising, right? So they will be ready, they will be more ready for the new seed because you appreciated something that they knew already. The next two steps will be you present something new and you ask them to try it, right? So like, look, this is something to do, and let's practice it in this activity or in this game or in this text or with these pictures. So you should do something, right? Not like learn the rule, repeat the rule over and over again. It doesn't work like that. So you present a little bit and then you practice it. You show how it works. They will try it. And the next steps, they will get a result. They will get a result, and hopefully they will get new experience. So it means that after getting a positive result, so they did something successfully, they get the new knowledge. Right now you can see 6 steps of this way to work, right? From old experience, then reflection, presentation, experiment, result, and new experience. So this is kind of a system that a gardener does, right? The farmer does with his or her seed. And now I'd like you to look on the right side of the slide, and you will see some short thoughts that your students can have. So, and my question is, when you as a teacher appreciate old experience, and when you think that your students have old experience, what of these 6 phrases will be the best description what your students think? Like, we understood that every student has got old experience, okay? So what thought illustrates it the best? You can type only the number. You can type only the number, like number 1, number 2, number 3. You can see them on the right side of the script. Number 2, let's try. Number 3, I know. Of course, number 3 is the right answer. Thank you, Yana Alexandrovna. So, of course, I know. So that is something that you should start with. They know something, right? So it means that every of your students will say, oh, I know this, I know that, and so on. So, as a farmer, remember, you suggest them to brush it up a little bit. What will your students think at this moment when you ask questions about the topic that they knew and know, but maybe forgot? What will be the next thought of your student when you brush up the material they know? So the first one is, I know. The next one will be when you brush it up. Like you ask questions, you give them pictures to remember, or some matching activities. Thank you, Ina Georgievna. It will be number 4. Yes, lots of correct answers, and everyone is correct. Thank you. Of course, your student will think, oh, yeah, I remember. Perfect. With this, I remember, you create a positive atmosphere in the classroom. So it means that you, as a teacher, you appreciated whatever they know before. And you do the same as the farmer brushes up the soil, right? So you brush up their knowledge. So now they are fresh and ready to get the presentation. What your students will say when you do presentation, what will be their thought? Number 5, I listen. Perfect. Yes. Okay, teacher, I listen what you say, right? When you presented, you explained how it works and what they should do, you suggest them to experiment, right? So let's experiment, let's do it. So in their heads, the thought will be, so now we are speaking about experiment. Absolutely, number 2, you're right. So most of the answers are correct. Let's try. Experiment, it is always about, okay, let's try. And you should understand that as a human being, it is our nature. We don't feel comfortable, like not always feel comfortable with new stuff. By nature, we protest everything new, because when something is changing in your life, it means that you are changing your life, but the task of your brain, the first task of your brain is to survive. And when you change something, for example, you change your diet, it is difficult because your brain is resisting. Like, no, we survived on the old one, let's not change. There will be some stress, some changes, something will go wrong. That's why don't change. So that is our nature. Like, the task is to survive. Okay, so that's why sometimes when you try something new, you can see that your students are not very excited, maybe, because something new is always a little stress. Maybe I will not understand it. Maybe it is too difficult for me. Maybe I don't understand why I should do that. That's why they are very cautious. They're like, okay, let's try. If the experiment went successfully, you will have a good result and your students will think number 6. Thank you, Oksana Volodymyrovna. They will think, I understand. Yes? Good, yes, I tried it. So my teacher explained it, I tried it, and I understood. So with this idea, after understanding, of course, we will have the last one. It will be I know now. So it means that our students went to a new experience. Let's check the answers. Now you can see all the numbers, and you can see that it is, it looks like a circle, but I would say that it is a spiral. It is a spiral because from the stage result, when your students understood, they will go not to the old experience, they will go to the new experience. It is like the new level. It is the same circle, but on the new level. That's why I would call it spiral, not a circle. But it can be a circle. And sometimes it happens. When we brush up the knowledge, remember whatever we know, we present something new, they try to use it, the result is bad, and they go back to their old experience. They go back to their old knowledge because the new knowledge was not successful for them. They didn't like it, they didn't understand it, they didn't accept it. In this case, sadly enough, it will be just a circle. Okay? If you start with the stage presentation, it can be always a circle because you never link their previous knowledge to the new one. They don't understand the connection, and they can easily forget it, not take it, not accept it, and they will be always in the circle of old knowledge. And that is very sad. It is something that we don't want to happen, right? But we should remember that every spiral can go as a spiral or can go as a circle as it is showed here, right? If step number 6 will be I don't understand, so they will go to the old experience, they will go to their old knowledge, and they will not change their production. When I prepared a book, you know that I'm the author of the book, of the course book that is now in the competition. You know that we have, now I will show you the official information about how to choose a course book. It is a new thing for our country, for our system of education, and it is okay if we have problems. The most important part is to see these problems and be ready to solve them. But the first thing to do to understand is it working or not is to actually look through all the course books that are presented for the competition, choose one that you really like, and it is written here what to do if, for example, your school doesn't have any information how to use that site. So you can, it is written here what to do, okay? So I think that right now we are like those students who are presented with something new and we don't want it because our brain tell us, no, let's survive with the old system. But I don't think that it is a good choice. We shouldn't survive with the old system. We should find something new in our system. And right now we have a possibility. And yes, it's difficult. Yes, it's confusing. But I think that we should have it a try, right? So let's experiment. So one of the books that is presented there is written by me. English for the 4th grade, and right now I want you to show how this spiral worked in my planning the book, because my task was to write a book that will work in your classroom, and I know that there can be lots of questions and obstacles, challenges, but my idea was my philosophy of the course book was here in this spiral. So the first unit, you can see, the first unit is all about present simple. Because they have learned it in the 3rd grade, they successfully forgot it during the summer holidays, and it is not a big surprise, accepted, predicted, and like, it's okay. Children forget, right? So that is their psychology, that is their peculiarity, and we should deal with that, right? So that's why the first unit is all about present simple, how to use it, what are the rules there, and it is about a funny story about a dragon. So I combined that it is something interesting to read, to know, to help, to all these adventures of the dragon, but it is in a very simple language, and present simple is presented. The unit number 2, you can see the 2nd page, it is from unit number 2. We start with present simple because we appreciate their knowledge from before, right? And we go a little bit deeper. We go into present continuous because it is logically, it can be logically connected. And they show that, yes, I can describe in present simple, and now I can see the difference that present simple is for everyday action, but right now what I'm doing, I will describe with another tense. If we go, like, of course, if you'd like to see the book, you can see it on our site, you can see it on ministry site. Right now it is there. Right now I will show you just some parts from the units. When we go to the 3rd unit, again, we appreciate what they know before, like present continuous, for them to feel comfortable, and then we practice past simple again because they need more practice with them, and they the topic is I am sorry, past simple. Yes, I know I'm speaking right. So from present continuous we go into storytelling. Storytelling should be in the past simple. That's why we present past simple. And again, I presented past simple as if they don't know. I'm sure they know something, but I presented from the point of view that, let's imagine they forgot. Let's imagine they didn't have enough practice. Let's imagine that their previous experiment was not successful and they didn't take that knowledge that they should be. So that's why I present past simple like something absolutely new. The 4th unit, again, we go from present simple, we remember it, and degrees of comparisons, because it is about shopping. Shopping happens here and there, and we have something familiar and something new. We combine things. The next one, and so on and so forth. So if you are careful enough, you can look through the course book, you will see that there is always reviewing, we always repeat something. And usually the teachers of the 4th grade, they ask the horrible question, oh, how to teach present perfect? They are so young and they don't understand it. And I agree with you absolutely. Their psychological age, let it be, right? So it doesn't allow them to understand so complicated rule. That is the answer. We shouldn't give them complicated rule because they are too young to understand it. And even if we present it 10 times, it doesn't mean that they will get it. In my book, in unit number 10, you see that in unit number 10, I present for the first time present simple. Present perfect. So, and I do it with comparison with other 2 tenses. So there is a story in past simple, there are some active actions in present continuous, and you can see at the bottom of the page that there is a rule that I present. So when you are doing something for a long time, for example, in the picture, George is looking for the umbrella, so it takes him a lot of time, and they understand it because they have learned it before. I'm looking for a pen. They understand that it is right here, right now. And then when you find it, so it means that you have a result. I have found it. George has found it. So my idea about present perfect is it should be short. It shouldn't take a lot of time. It should be very clear, without difficult rule. And we shouldn't spend a lot of time practicing present perfect because they will have 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, and so on and so forth to practice it again and again and again and again. The task right now in the 4th grade, just to illustrate it. So I did it. So I illustrated present perfect. You can see the task that is in the 10th unit, that some pictures are in the action and some actions are showing the result. So that is my philosophy, okay, about present perfect. So I don't think that you should be scared. You should enjoy it, okay? Present perfect is all about result and everything. So if you're a good farmer, you see that my green leaves turned into flowers. So I believe that if I plan everything neatly, if I understand the process of growing, if I appreciate my students' knowledge, I will have these wonderful flowers in my group of students. So I start with a curriculum, then I have the system from brushing up the knowledge to presenting. Then I remember that we should have a lot of repetition, repeat, do it again, come back, review, and so on. And I believe that we should combine something that we know already with something new to make these strong links for our students to understand that their knowledge and their learning process is very logical. So thank you for your attention. You can have your questions. We still have like 3 minutes. And there are some useful sites that I think that you should pay attention to. Check them if you didn't check them before. So the first one, ua.lacanda.com, it is the site where you can see all the books. Quite useful and resourceful site, so it is not only about the competition. You can find other course books there, some more information. You can read lots of documents there. Thank you very much for your attention. So the next one, mon.gov.ua, it is the site of our Ministry of Education. They are trying to be communicative. They are trying to answer and deliver all information that is important for the school. So that's why please check it regularly, because it gives the answers. Not every, but most. And one more, asnova.com UA, you can find my books there. You can look through all the pages and check everything I said, if it is true or not. Please do it. And if it is not true, write to me and use my email, please. So the last one is my email. Please write it down. Whenever you have a question, whenever you have a doubt or, I don't know, some disagreement, so please contact me, because your real challenges, your real practical obstacles are very important for me, because in my life I have my challenges. On your place you have your challenges, and the more I know about your challenges, the better for both of us, because I can answer them, I can help, I can support. I'm here for that. Okay, thank you very much for your warm words. Remember please about the questions, and see you next time. I will show again the place where you should find everything. Please read it or copy this